Hey Cal fans, Burke18 here with a football film study on California Golden Blogs. This is the last video in my series on the Cal defense in 2017, and in it we're going to look at our passing defense against the UCLA Bruins. Breaking down this game has a lot of potential moving parts because UCLA played the first half with Josh Rosen at quarterback and the second half with Devon Modster. And it might not look like their stats were all that different, but the way that they got to those stats was really different. And so we're going to look at how this game changed from half to half and even from quarter to quarter. Now, the first thing to notice about the first half is that Cal had a lot of trouble on long yardage situations. So just in the first quarter alone, we see here that Rosen completed a 2nd and 8, got a 10-yard completion on 3rd and 4, and also converted 3rd and 13 and 3rd and 16. So the Cal defense really not doing a good job on 3rd down here. Rosen was able to engineer these long yardage completions primarily by attacking our zone coverages over the middle. So in the first quarter especially, we were playing primarily zone, and Rosen did a really good job picking that apart. Now, just as a heads up, when you're trying to identify whether a defense is playing man or zone coverage, a lot of people look at these cornerbacks lined up tight on the line of scrimmage. They'll think that this is some kind of press man, but press versus off technique like this really doesn't tell you too much about man or zone coverage. You really have to look at other things. So as we run this play forward, the giveaway that we're looking at as zone coverage is that neither cornerback is going to stick on the guy that he's covering. They're both going to hang outside in those outside zones. And also, we see that these linebackers underneath aren't chasing either of these shallow crossing routes. They're passing them off to guys on the other side of the formation. Rosen finds a window in between these zones and gets the completion. And here we see Rosen working the same kind of window on a 2nd and 10. So the way that we combated this in the second and third quarters is that we played a lot more man coverage. Here, the giveaway that you're looking at man, we see that our cornerbacks are much tighter than they were on the last examples, and also, most importantly, that our nickelback, Darius Allensworth, is going to chase his receiver across the formation instead of passing him off to someone else. That's a real giveaway that you're looking at a man coverage. And here we see a nice play by outside linebacker Ray Davison as he runs deep with a tight end in man. This switch to man did a really good job at taking away the middle of the field, but it's almost worse because it forced UCLA to attack the perimeter, where they had a great matchup with Jordan Lasley on Cameron Bynum. To guard against this, we played predominantly zone coverages on the last couple of drives of the game. Here, for example, we see that we're in a quarter-half structure. And by having this deep half safety over the top of Bynum, we give him the ability to cover the flat, disrupt the short stuff, while not being the main guy responsible for deep routes by Lasley. This is going to have extra consequences, though, and we can see what's going on here at the bottom of the screen, where I said that we've got 2 defenders playing deep quarters. We've also got this 3rd defender who's basically responsible for underneath coverage from where he's lined up out to the sidelines, giving us a 3-over-2 zone defensive structure. Now, if this were man, we would have no need for this safety to be walked out because these 2 defenders would just be locked onto their receivers man-to-man. But because we're going with this 3-over-2 zone structure, that's going to force this safety out of the box, and it's going to open up a cutback lane for this play, which is finally going to let UCLA get the run game going, which they had trouble doing all night up until this point. Another strategy that we used to protect this perimeter matchup was just to play our cornerbacks off, as we see here. But the problem is that once UCLA saw that we were doing this, they started throwing these screens to Lasley, as we see on this 3rd and 4, which really went a long way towards icing the game. And here we see UCLA doing the exact same kind of screen to effectively get them into field goal range. Alright, that's it for the football film study of the 2017 season. I hope to see a lot of you back here in August as we look forward to watching our Bears take the next step forward. And until then, go Bears!